TV, hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? We wake up this morning with not good news. So, the United States vice president goes off to Pakistan, tries to have a conversation, tries to bring some peace in, and what happens? Yeah, crashes and burns. Then we get the president saying he's gonna, do a blockade around all Iranian ports, and anybody, any country leaving those ports, not gonna happen. How are you gonna enforce that? So if France has a ship that leaves a port, how are you gonna enforce that? If Russia has a ship that leaves a port, how are you going to enforce that? This close. This close. The reason why I bring this up is because oil, when I was up at 3:34 in the morning, oil was at 104 plus. Imagine that, $104. It's currently at 104.48. I'm expecting it to get worse. The stock markets are down, not like a little down. You'll see in the numbers later. They're, futures are down. Not hugely down, but they're down by triple digits. So what is that going to do to the global economy? The global economy is already tanked. Okay? The global economy has already tanked. Let's suppose, and I said this the other day, let's suppose that we bring everything back. Okay? Everything back to the way it was before this conflict. Because it's only day 45 and legally not till day 60. And it goes to Congress and says that I need you to declare war, that we're actually at war legally. Now, because of this conflict, there's a gap in oil shipments. A gap. And that gap is being felt around the world. Rationing is already happening. Already happening. Our oldest partner, one of our oldest partners, I would say, one of our oldest friendly nations, the UK, is not supporting the blockade. That ought to tell you a lot. That ought to tell you a lot. Mind you, this is all on top of a big anti-right, U.S. kind of sentiment that's going on around the world. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Don't just do research with news that's from the United States. Do research from news sources from around the world. That way you get the full picture. What it looks like looking out, what it looks like looking in. No matter where you are, that's what you want to do. You want to get news from around the world. And the reason why is because you want to capture as much of the story as you possibly can. Because no matter what your country says, it seems like all of the countries out there do some sort of historical changing manipulation of actual news. When one of your oldest allies says we're not supporting you in this, you've achieved your goal. Your goal is to have the United States stand on its own. You've achieved that goal. That's going to affect our wallets big time. Like I said, oil, and people kind of laughed at me last week when I said I'm expecting oil to go really high, and this is nothing more than a lull. The ceasefire isn't going to last, and blah, blah, blah. People looked at me, and they were like, nah, Eddie, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you, sir. Now we're seeing that, there's not. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. Is there something wrong with me? No, I was right. I was right because people chose not to listen. don't forget to invest in yourself today. So my biggest issue is we've got a massive problem with oil. Don't forget we have a massive problem across everything. There are two straits. There's the Strait of Hormuz, and I forget the other strait that's controlled by the Houthis. Both of those straits are cut off. You're talking about, what, 30% of the world's commerce between those two straits? So it's not just an oil problem. You have an oil problem, you have a fertilizer problem, you've got product problems. It causes global problems, global issues. So that is the news of the morning. Everything else, no, there's some important news going on. Let's not get it twisted. But still, that's the news of the morning. And I'm sitting here and I'm here to tell you, Congress is being forced. Congress is going to have to declare this a war, or we will be walking away from this conflict created by our country that nobody wanted, and we'll walk away with unfinished business, which is worse. Like, which one of those choices is worse? That's the problem. So I think that Congress is going to be forced to declare war. And I believe that that's going to have a massive, massive negative hit on the United States economy, which is already suffering. Remember, if you do research on the 2027 budget put forward by the White House, $1.5 trillion is allotted to the Department of Defense. That's a $500 billion markup, okay, increase in that budget. It means they have to take money from other places. And those other places are things that are on the domestic side. So medical suffers, education suffers, just a whole bunch of things suffer. I did it on the video a few days ago. I brought up the chart and I showed you guys. If you think about it like that, we're looking at an economy that's about to get crushed. And truth be told, I think that it's also a ploy just to try to, get special war powers and try to, change election outcomes, which again would affect our bags. Except I don't think it can go that far. I think people are already tired of every time they look, food prices up, oil, gas up. You're ruining plans of all these companies, making people come back to the office. Why? Because people are now starting to say, it costs me too much money to go to your office. It costs too much money to go to your office. I want you to think about that. There are companies out there that were, firing people because they were told, oh, no, you can work remotely. Great. People accepted jobs remotely, already living somewhere, and accepted remote roles. And then to have these companies turn around and go, oh, no, we don't like that anymore. You have to come to an office. Go to your nearest office. Your nearest office. I want you to listen to how stupid that sounds. We want you to come to your nearest office. Not the office where the rest of your team is. Your nearest office. That means that they don't actually need you in an office. It's just a way to fire you. Because they figure, well, we can find other people that will be closer to this office and come to this office, whatever, but we're going to fire you. The conflict is ruining plans. It's ruining plans because now people can't afford to come to your office, and it's not that you can't afford to pay them more. You don't want to. Had this conversation over the weekend. I said, the number one thing that destroys our economy, greed. Just greed. How many ways can I take your money from you? That's it. Corporate greed, government greed. Remember those tariffs that are being implemented? Those are taxes. That's taxation without representation. That's what it comes down to. That's a massive problem. People can't afford to eat. People can't afford to eat. Well, other things suffer. So like I said, there's a ton of news that's going on. You have the IMF's Georgieva warns of global economic strain from the Iran conflict linked inflation. Yeah. UK regulators intensify scrutiny of Anthropic's AI model. That was big news. That was big news. Where enough that last week, Scott Bessent, Jay Powell called in the big banks in the United States and said, hey, what's going on with this whole Anthropic thing? Are you affected? And now the UK is doing the same thing with their banks. Ooh. That was big news. Truth be told, this is why I tell you about the GMB3. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Why? Because you have bigger news that comes out and all the other news gets washed away. And imagine on a regular news day, you've got to keep your nose in the news just to find little tidbits. On a regular news day, you've got to find little tidbits. Things that would slide underneath the radar, nobody would pay attention. And when you look at it now, you're kind of like, man, so big news is going to get swept underneath the rug too. Exactly. Let me see if I can rifle through some of this news. Commodity traders lose $10 billion as oil exceeds $100 per barrel. Legal battle between WLFI and Justin Sun. Now, I want you to stop and think about this. This when I first read this, I almost teared because it was so funny. You have somebody with such a storied past in Justin Sun. For him to say that you're manipulating, you're manipulating people that are holding WLFI, and WLFI is accusing Sun of baseless allegations, with Sun claiming WLFI embedded backdoor controls impacting crypto markets and raising concerns over asset seizure mechanisms. Justin Sun has been in this game for a long time, whether you like him or not. He's very knowledgeable and has a history. Storied history, but a history nonetheless. When you have somebody with that kind of a past wagging a finger at you, I just can't get any better than this. So many people were on me about not being open-minded when it came to WLFI. I'll say it again. When you have somebody with such a storied past as Justin Sun wagging a finger at you, that is, it's so hard to describe. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. I'm waiting for somebody to come around and start defending WLFI right now, because I will just automatically just not listen. I will automatically turn you off. You've got Justin Sun wagging a finger at you. I'm sorry. And WLFI saying something like, "We'll see you in court, Justin." Will you? Will you really? Will you really? Look up Justin Sun's past. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, I've been up since 3:30. I'm a little tired. Sorry. Just look up Justin Sun's past and you'll understand fully what I'm saying to you. Justin Sun, with that kind of a past, is looking at WLFI and making accusations. I can't. I'm literally tearing over it. I can't. It's just funny to me. It's absolutely funny to me. A legal battle between WLFI and Justin Sun. We'll have to see if that actually happens. Remember, if you go to court, you've got to go through discovery. So we'll see if that whole "we'll see you in court, Justin." We'll see if that actually happens. And in case you're wondering why I'm talking about this particular project for so long, I want you to go and see who's linked to this project directly. Go do that, and then you'll understand. Things are unraveling. Things are unraveling. I'm just saying, it's crazy. University of California researchers identified 26 AI routers injecting malicious code, stealing credentials, and draining 2.188 or $2,188 in ether. Highlighting, I thought it was a bigger number than that, my bad. Highlighting risks in AI agent frameworks and insecure credential handling. Yeah. My engineers and I were talking about it over the weekend, and we were like, do companies know how vulnerable they are? I said AI has stepped up the game. Stepped up the security game or the hacking game in so many different ways. How do you not see this? How do you not see this? So yeah, you can see it coming. It's not a good thing. At some point, people are going to have to start saying, if we want to implement AI, we're going to have to learn how to secure AI. And you need to keep up with routers that have been compromised. You need to keep up with technology that's been compromised. Most companies are not doing that. And it's going to take a lot more than just, oh, well, I'm going to trust this router because, oh, my router's locked down. If there's a vulnerability, there's a vulnerability. Lockdown means nothing. There are some large companies out there that have routers too that, they've had problems in the past. They know about this. They know and fully understand the difficulty of locking down their routers. And they go through painstaking steps to continue to stay on top of security. And with the advent of mainstream AI making it hella easy to write malicious code, it's making the job of a security person incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. It's no longer, I can shut down all the ports except for these two. That's no longer the secret weapon. You can shut down ports as much as you want. There are still ways. And AI is finding ways. Just saying. Just saying. ECP supports EU crypto regulation under ESMA oversight, aiming to address sector risks despite pushback from some member states as a part of a broader MiCA alignment efforts. Yeah, they want to lock down crypto. They want to put crypto in a box. Some might say for good reason. Others might say, let's not just do broad stroke judgments here. And I'm probably along with the latter side of let's not do broad stroke judgments and actions. And the reason why is because there are things that you can do. The lazy way of doing things is just, no, we're not going to. That's the lazy way of doing it. Take a pragmatic approach as to what you should do. That's what I would tell regulators. Go get educated. Go get educated. Just saying. Just saying. We have a ton of articles out there, but right now we've got to get to the numbers. So if you want to catch up on the rest of the news that we have for you, there were like 17 new articles this morning. Go over to growmybag.tv and start reading those articles. Start keeping up with the news. Start keeping up with things that can affect your bag. Dead serious. This is no joke. This is no joke. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. And I'll prove it to you. Watch this. You'll see. Look at all these articles that I need to get to. Polkadot experiencing a freaking hack. You know, Bitcoin falling this, from the 73 that it was over the weekend down to 70 and, into the 70s. Solana treasury firms like Forward Industries face 75 to 92% stock declines. Yeah, Solana's having issues. And think about that. That's big news. And even I have it buried. I couldn't get to it. There's a lot of stuff going on. Big decision out of Alve Labs. Basically, a fighters. It sounds like the fight could be over. Just saying, pay attention to these things. It's no joke. Like I said before, Dow futures down 245, S&P futures down 43.75, NASDAQ futures down 168, oil up $7.83 to 104.39, US 10-year up 0.014. I don't think the market's going to shrug it off the way people think it is. I don't think that's a thing. No, sir. I do not think that's a thing. Reporting this week, again, it's the beginning of the month. So we're going to have a ton of reports coming out. We've got Goldman Sachs. Let's see who else. FB Financial Corporation. Let's see who else. Blue Moon Metals. Unity Bank Corp. Greenwich Life Sciences. Astronova. Westport Fuel Systems. You've got a lot of companies that we should be paying attention. And I'm telling you, it's earnings season. We're going to be paying attention to this going forward. And it's not the past 3 months that I'm worried about. That's going to be what it is. I want to understand their forecast for the coming months. To me, that's the more important piece. Yes, I care about what they're reporting about the past. Yeah. But what they're projecting going forward, given the additional information that they have, that's what I'm going to be keying in on. That's literally what I'm going to be keying in on. Let's see. Today we have existing home sales. Federal Governor Stephen Mirren speaks. Yeah, I don't like that guy. I still listen to him, but I don't like that guy. Tomorrow we get NFIB Optimism Index. We get the Producer Price Index, Core PPI. Those are big numbers that we're going to be paying attention to. So those are two things that are happening this week that we should be paying attention to. Then we get the Import Price Index. We get the Empire State Manufacturing Survey. We get more GovSpeak. Michael Barr is going to be speaking. Michelle Bowman is going to be speaking. You get Fed Beige Book. You get Home Builder Confidence Index. Thursday, we get initial jobless claims. We get a lot of Fed speak. I keep bringing up Fed speak because you should be paying attention to it. Again, I'm not worried about what they're saying about the past, but I want to hear what their look forward is. I mean, we've got 15 more days, and I believe this conflict is going to turn into a war. Friday, we have a ton of Fed speak, and that's it. But that's huge economic news for this week. Huge economic news. Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at 12. I'm expecting it to hit single digits at some point this week. DeFi Llama, let's see, $94.32 billion in total value locked. We seem to be, that total value locked, that TVL value seems to be moving laterally at the moment within a specific range. Right now, we have at 70,729. Interesting. Again, I'm expecting another dip. I'm expecting when markets really actually wake up and people are awake and they're not yawning like me and they're finished, washing their face and stuff like that, we're going to see the market dip some more. I mean, literally, we're moving sideways at the moment. But that news about the Strait, boom. I'm expecting another down. Just saying, we came so close to breaking through that 73,750. And maintaining, I think that's what's going to happen. Again, you can see I still don't know what this bill is. I'm going to have to look that one up. I do not know what that is, but everything is not trading all too well. So what do I think? Yeah, you know what I think. I think it's an opportunity. Just saying, I think it's an opportunity. Looking across the board, yeah, you can see how things are going up in terms of value locked. You got 10 hyper liquid, at 63.52% up. Leo, I have not had a chance to do any research on. I did a little bit of research, and the little bit of research I did says, yeah, I'm not touching Leo. Not yet. I need to do more research, but right now my research tells me not to touch it. So yeah, just looking at that kind of stuff. Let's see. Let me see. I know that picture came up. Such a long day. Such a long day. So yeah, these are all the articles that I was telling you about that we have that you should go do your research on. Just go to growmybag.tv/articles and you'll start to be able to read. If you have a chance, go to growmybag/plans and actually become a member, because at some point, free access to all this information, yeah, it's going to cost you $12 a year, a whopping $12 a year. Just saying. I know you people spend more than that on coffee. Just saying. Let's go over to Crypto Tracker and see what we've got going on the loser side. Let's see. Okay, loser side stops right about here, so everything's moving sideways. Polkadot, I expect to be down a little bit more than that. It's currently down 5.07 with a GMB X factor of 46.40. Remember, it's because of that hack. Who else do we have? We have Dash down 5.80 with a GMB X factor of 35.37. And that's it on that side. Oh. Excuse me. Again, I'm still trying to wake the heck up. I'm really sorry about that. Don't ask me about Rave DAO. I know nothing about it. It's been popping like all over the place. I know nothing about it. I'd have to do some research. And right now, yeah, I have no interest in doing the research. I got too much stuff going on. Let's see. Anybody else I'm paying attention to? Jitto is up 7.71% with a GMB X factor of 17.48. We've got, who else? Aave up. That's it. You immediately get past my 5% rule and you're done. All of that. Wow. So yeah, things are moving kind of in the wrong direction today. But again, stay on top of the news, manage your bags, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Practice the GMB3 every day. Trust me, it'll help. It will help. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, hit the hype, smash the likes, and tell your friends about this community. It's the only one in the world that actually cares about helping you grow your investment knowledge each and every day. I'll be back on tonight at 8 p.m. for the overflow. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Everybody, have a good one. Bye-bye.